ripping your own discs. Now, I have experience with it, but I kind of want to hear what Jeremy's experience with that ripping discs is, and maybe some issues that he's faced throughout points with, I have some issues of my own that I'll touch on after you go over yours.
Yeah. So I've got a long history of doing that stuff all the way back to 2007, the original, or the PlayStation 3, right? Ripping DVDs to VOB files and playing them over a network with the network player of the PlayStation 3, and then onward into Blu-rays and so on. So I spent a lot of time in different iterations of building DIY servers, ripping to re-encoding and things into MP4s and ripping to MKVs, and starting my ripping process in my libraries over a bunch of times. I've used the whole gamut of the different streamers and players and servers and so on. I had a big 12-base Synology loaded up with content, and I kind of just had my fill of it back around 2018-ish, because there's so many pitfalls. I think a lot of people like love the idea of ripping so much, find entertainment in it, and it's fun organizing things and setting stuff up. I'm a alphabetize all my stuff on the shelf kind of guy, so I like having my hands on a collection and setting up and organizing it and all that. But the time intensity and the other failure modes and stuff that go along with it, I was spending a lot of my evenings like kind of feeding this through and managing servers and stuff, and I just got fed up with it. Like, I don't have the time to do this anymore. And I had been eyeing Kaleidescape for a while, so I bought my first K player at the end of 2018, and I jettisoned my DIY setup and basically used Kaleidescape as my input number one in the theater. Since in this last year, I've gone a little bit more back into doing some physical media ripping, and that largely to serve the channel, because I really wanted to make content about it. And I put up a bunch of videos about like using Make MKV and the process of it, how to do it, some of the pitfalls and the challenges and all that, making sure you get the right tracks, and how to interpret the playlists off your disc, and dealing with subtitles and forced subtitles. And I'll contend that a lot of people with DIY ripped physical media servers out there have wrong content on their server, at least in some percentage of their content, and don't even realize it. You're missing subtitles. You ripped a movie that you probably haven't watched yet, and when you sit down and watch it, it's not going to make any sense because you got the wrong playlist and everything's going to be in the wrong order. Like all that stuff is out there. But so I upgraded my Synology this year, from a 2-bay back up to like an 8-bay, and I dropped a couple drives in it, and I started feeling a pull again to doing it a little bit more, again, out of the channel, but because I like the collection side of it. I like the hands-on element of it. But I finally come to the realization again that like, no, it's like this isn't the long-term solution, I think, for me. Kaleidescape, it has too many virtues